Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Students, will start week number 10 today, and the first topic is conditioning a giant PMF by an event. Uh, just as we condition a PMF by an event, we can condition a giant PMF by an event B. So suppose we have an event B that represents some region in the xy plane. What is the conditional giant PMF in such case? So if you recall, probability of an event B, we said we can find the probability of an event B from xy plane by simply summing up all the giant distribution points in the xy plane, and that will give you probability of an event B. Now if you have two random variables x and y and you have an event B as a conditioning event, then the conditional PMF of x and y given B can be found in a particular manner, and that will be taught today. So now we define that for random variables x and y and an event B, with probability of B greater than 0, it has to be greater than 0, because if the you already know that if the probability of conditioning event is 0, it is simply nonsense to talk of conditional probability. So the probability of a conditioning event has to be greater than 0 to have meaningful conditional distributions. So for random variables x and y and an event B with probability of B greater than 0, the conditional PMF the conditional joint PMF of x and y given B has occurred is basically denoted as P sub x comma y given B of x comma y, and that is equal to probability that x is equal to x and y is equal to y given event B has occurred. To calculate the conditional distribution in this fashion, we basically use this particular formula that is given in the form of a theorem in your textbook, and that says P sub x comma y given B of x comma y is equal to P sub x comma y of x comma y divided by P of B, and obviously P of B has to be greater than 0 and it is equal to 0 otherwise. So this is the formula that we have to keep in mind. And if you recall, we did roughly the same thing for the case of one-dimensional distribution where we had P sub x given B, and if you recall, we had P sub x given B of x, and that was the original PMF of x divided by the probability of the conditioning event. Same is true here, except that now we have two-dimensional distribution. So to find the conditional distribution of x and y given B has occurred, basically you utilize this. The concept is same. Now the conditioning event B has reduced the sample space or the giant distribution of x and y to a it has shrunk the giant distribution to only B. So the meaningful region where you can calculate the conditional distribution now is all B. As I said in one of the previous lectures, when we had this concept of conditioning in chapter 2 with respect to random variables, I said that a conditioning event reduces the sample space to the size of its own. Same is true here. Now B is your new sample space, or the region where you will have meaningful conditioning probabilities, and you can find the new conditioning conditional distribution through this particular formula. So obviously this total probability 1 will now be distributed within B. So all the points in B will have higher individual probabilities. We'll move on and solve an example so that you can have a clear understanding of what we mean by conditioning a giant distribution by an event B. B is some xy points in the total xy plane of the giant distribution of x and y. We will solve an example. So we solve an example where we have a giant distribution of x and y. The values of x are 1, 2, 3, 4, and similarly 1, 2, 3, 4, and suppose the probabilities are distributed something like this. Sorry, not this point, not this point. I'll use this new slide for this example where we have this x and y with the values 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. The points are x equal to 1, y1, x2, y1, x3, y1, x4, y1, x2, y2, x3, y2, x4, y2, and then these two, and then this particular point. So students, you don't need to worry about how this was generated through some problem. And we say that the probabilities of these points are something like this: 1 by 4 for this, 1 by 8 for this, 1 by 8 for this, and similarly here it is 1 by 12, 1 by 12, 1 by 12, 1 by 16, 1 by 16, 1 by 16, and 1 by 16. Suppose these are the probability points in a giant distribution of x and y. And now we say that let B denote the event x plus y less than or equal to 4. And we need to find the conditional PMF of x and y given B, which means we need to find a new conditional distribution of x and y. So you see how we can, now you'll see how we can calculate this conditional distribution. First we need to find the probability of the conditioning event, because we have to use this as a denominator. You know, this is the formula. We use the original PMF, divide it with PFB to find the conditional new PMF. So what is PFB now? We have to first find PFB here. So what is PFB here? We solve the example. PFB, as you know, is all the points that are contained in B. And if you see what are the points contained in B, it is x plus y less than 4. So only this, and this. These 4 points are there in the event B. So what is probability of B? The sum of individual probabilities of all these points, as we discussed in chapter in week number 9's lectures as well. So PFB is basically P sub x comma y of 1 comma 1 plus P sub x comma y of 2 comma 1 plus P sub x comma y of 3 comma 1 plus P sub x comma y of this one 2 comma 2. So this all can be summed up 1 by 4 plus 1 by 8 plus 1 by 8 plus 1 by 12, and that turns out to be 7 is 7 over 12. What will be the conditional distribution? Remember, this is the unconditional giant PMF. We need to find the conditional giant distribution. For conditional giant distribution, let me solve that. So the conditional giant distribution basically will be P sub x comma y given B of x comma y, and that is P sub x comma y of x comma y, the original unconditional distribution, divided by the probability of the conditioning event. So you see how many points are there in now this event B. 1, 2, 3 and 4, only these 4 points. So now the total probability 1 will be distributed, will be redistributed among all these 4 points. So obviously the conditional PMF will have more probability in each point. How to calculate that? We'll use this as the basic formula. So let me keep this here as a ready reference and see how we can find the probabilities. So now we need to find the conditional probability of this, conditional probability of this point, and this point, only 4 points. So we have P sub x comma y given B of, say, this particular point, which is 1 comma 1. We'll have P sub x comma y given B of 2 comma 1, which is this particular point. We have P sub x comma y given B of 3 comma 1, which is this particular point. Then we have P sub x comma y given B of 2 comma 2, which is this particular point. So only these 4 points will have the probability redistributed. By formula, how we can find this particular probability? It is the unconditional PMF divided by PFB. So what is the unconditional PMF of this point 1 comma 1? So you see P sub x comma y of 1 comma 1 divided by P of b, which we have already found as 7 by 12. So this is P of b. So this becomes now the unconditional PMF of x comma y of 1 comma 1, which is 1 by 4. So numerator we have 1 by 4, denominator we have 7 by 12. So you get 3 by 7. Similarly, something here, you will get 3 by 14. Similarly here, you will get 1 by 7, and similarly here it will be P sub x comma y of 2 comma 2 divided by P of b. And what is 2 comma 2? Unconditional. It is 1 by 8 divided by P of b, which is 7 by 12. So this turns out to be 3 by 14. So now we have got all the 4 points with new probabilities. So we can say that we have obtained a new conditional PMF given B. How we can now plot it? It is simple. Always remember the conditional PMF is a proper new PMF. So this is y, this is x. This is x is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4. And similarly here y is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4. The points are this, 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 and this, which means some probability x equal to 1 comma 1, some probability x is equal to 2 comma 1, some probability x is equal to 3 comma 1, and some probability 1 comma 1, 2 comma 1, 3 comma 1, and 2 comma 2. So what are these probabilities? This is the conditional PMF, a conditional probability of joint occurrence of 1 comma 1 given that the sample space has reduced to this, given that you have this particular event. This event basically matches these 4 points. Only these satisfy this particular event. So what is the probability here? X is equal to 1, y is equal to 1. The conditional probability, it is 3 by 7. This is 3 by 14. I hope it is visible. This is 1 by 7, and this probability is 3 by 14. And so now this is your P sub x comma y given B of x comma y. So this is your new conditional giant distribution. Always note that no matter what type of distribution is, the total sum of all the probability points within a distribution is always equal to 1. Total 1 here, total sum is here. 3 plus 3 plus 3, 3 plus 3 plus 2 plus 6. Total 14 by 14, so the sum is 1. So we can write summation x comma y, P sub x comma y given B of x comma y is always equal to 1. This is a rule. This can never be violated. But now we have been able to see how we can calculate the giant conditional distribution. A quick summary. When you apply a conditioning event, you reduce the sample space, and that sample space is reduced to the size of the conditioning event. And initially the unconditional distribution means many values where the probability is distributed, and now the conditional distribution means smaller size B in general. smaller size b, and now the probability 1 is redistributed among those few points in B. So obviously then each point in B will have a higher probability, as we have seen here. This is not necessarily true, but this is true in general. We'll move on and see how we can write the expected value. You see, you have a random variable, then you have its distribution, and then you have its expectation, and then you have its variance. We have seen such concepts in the last lecture. Now we are discussing the concept of conditional PMF, and we have seen how we can calculate the conditional PMF. And if we have a conditional PMF, we can have conditional higher order statistics, which means conditional expectation and conditional variance. So a quick formula about how we can find the conditional expected value. So the next point, it is not a topic but just a pointer on how we can write the formula for the conditional expected value. So conditional expected value or conditional expectation can be written as, say you have a function of two random variables x and y, and you want to find the expectation, conditional expectation of this giant distribution. You simply have summation x, summation ny, the functional form times the distribution. If you remember, if you want to find the expectation of a random variable x, you use the summation, you use the variable, and you use the PMF, and then you do these products and ultimately sums, and you find the expectation. For the unconditional expectation, you have the unconditional PMF. For the conditional expectation, you will use the conditional PMF. Always remember this. This is a rule. For finding the unconditional expectations, you will utilize unconditional distributions. For finding the conditional expectations, you have to utilize conditional distributions, because now the distribution has changed. So initially this was the unconditional distribution. So to find a certain to find the expectations, the unconditional expectations, you will utilize this distribution. But for finding the conditional expectations, something like this, you have to utilize the conditional PMFs, conditional distributions. This is very important for you guys to learn. So we have now seen a special case and have done an example around this on how to find the conditional, how to condition a giant distribution and find the conditional expectation. Now we'll move on to see another case about when you have one full random variable as a conditioning event, and then you want to find the distribution of another random variable given that a random variable has occurred, which means conditional PMF. Conditional PMF would here mean probability that p sub x given y of x given y. This means what is the distribution of x given random variable y has occurred. So you are taking the whole random variable y as a conditioning event, and then you want to see the new conditional PMF of random variable x. Please note this. This is conditional PMF of X given another random variable Y, okay, which means probability that X assumes this value given Y assumes this value. So how we can calculate these, we'll see later on. At the moment, just note this. We can write the giant distribution X and Y on X and Y as P sub X given Y of X given Y times P sub Y of Y. Or you can also write it as P sub Y given X of Y given X times P sub X of X. Please do not get confused. This is very, very simple. How? If you recall, probability of A given B was what? P of AB divided by P of B. So probability of A conditioned on B is the product, is the probability of giant occurrence divided by the probability of conditioning event. And if we apply the same here, you see probability of X given Y, probability of A given B is the giant distribution, the giant occurrence divided by the one that is conditioning. So here it was B which was conditioning, here it is the random variable Y which is conditioning. So this can be written in this particular form. How? P sub X given Y of X given Y is nothing but P sub X comma Y of X comma Y divided by P sub Y of Y. Now let me go back and show you one of the previous expressions where we had this giant distribution. You see, conditioning event was B, so we divided the total distribution with the probability of conditioning event, okay, and we found this conditional distribution. Now we have this conditional distribution of X given Y. Now Y completely is a complete conditioning event as a whole random variable, so its distribution is through this individual distribution probability. So this conditional probability is the giant occurrence divided by whatever is the conditioning thing. So here the conditioning thing is Y, which is a random variable, so its probability in totality is represented by the distribution of that random variable. So this is now the formula of how to find P sub X given Y. You simply take the original unconditional giant distribution and divide it by the PMF of random variable Y, the conditioning random variable Y. We'll see how we can now solve the same example but using but for this conditional PMF. So if you recall, we developed this example a few minutes back, and now we'll try to find this type of conditional PMF, which is obviously different from the previous one. You recall the previous one was the giant distribution and the giant conditional distribution. Now this is the conditional distribution of X only. So it should result ultimately in some distribution, probability distribution of X only. We'll use this particular formula and we'll use the same example. So let's see how we can move about it. So the giant PMF is given as this. Say X is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4. Y is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we have these 4 points, these 3 points, these 2 points, and then this particular point, each with certain probabilities. And those probabilities, let me use another marker for that. So this is probability 1 by 4. For these 2 points, the probability is 1 by 8. For these 3 points, the probability is 1 by 12, and for these 4 points, the probability is 1 by 16. I am not writing the probabilities of all these points because I want to keep it a clear picture. So, the question at hand is, we need to calculate the conditional PMF of X given Y is equal to 4, and secondly Y is equal to 2. So we'll have each time we take a value of Y, we can find a new PMF of X. So first we use this to solve part A. What should be the formula? The formula should be P sub X given Y of X given Y, and that is equal to the giant distribution of X and Y divided by P sub Y of Y. This formula, but note that we want to find the probability, conditional probability of X given Y is equal to 4. So we'll use P sub Y of 4 as the denominator. Okay, so this is our formula. What is P sub Y of 4 here? First, want to find the probability of the denominator. P sub Y of 4 is nothing but the probability that X is equal to 4 and Y is equal to 4. There is no other point where Y is equal to 4. This is just one particular point. So its probability is 1 by 16. So the common denominator for all these probability values will be 1 by 16. Now given that Y is equal to 4, we want to find P sub X given Y of X given 4. Y is fixed at 4, and so now this formula turns out to be P sub X given Y of X given 4 equal to P sub X comma Y of X comma 4 divided by P sub Y of 4. And so this turns out to be P sub X comma Y of X comma 4. So now you see, for X is equal to 1, P sub X comma Y 1 comma 4 is 0 probability because X is equal to 1, but there is no value for Y. 2 comma 4 is not possible here. 3 comma 4 is not possible. Only possibility is 4 comma 4. So P sub X comma Y of 4 comma 4 divided by P sub Y of 4, which is 1 by 16. So this is 4 comma 4 probability 1 by 16, and the denominator is again 1 by 16, so it is total probability 1. So now you see this distribution is nothing but P sub X given Y of X given 4. You can write it as 1 for for x is equal to 4 and 0 otherwise. So you have obtained one distribution of x out of many possibilities when you have placed y is equal to 4. What about this particular case? Here you saw that with y is equal to 4 there is only one possibility of the distribution of x, because there is only one intersection point where x and y are 4, where y is equal to 4 and any other point. Okay, we'll move on and check how we can find this particular conditional PMFs. Take y is equal to 2 and see how many x points which are intersecting with y is equal to 2, and then we find the distributions of those. So let's see. And by the way, you see the sum of this distribution is 1. The rule will never be violated. The total sum of the probability in a probability distribution is always equal to 1. I'll move on and see how we can find the PMF of x given y is equal to 2 now. So I'll keep this here, and now for y is equal to 2, for that first we have to find p sub y of 2, the common denominator, because the formula says you have to have a common denominator here. So what is p sub y of 2 here? Which means the probability that y is equal to 2 and whatever the values of x. So for y is equal to 2 we have these 3 intersecting values of x with probabilities 1 by 8, 1 by 12 and 1 by 16. So p sub y of 2 becomes 1 by 8 plus 1 by 12 plus 1 by 16. So this becomes 13 over 48. Now we find p sub x given y of, and you see this y is equal to 2 is basically intersecting with x is equal to 2, x is equal to 3 and x is equal to 4. X is equal to 2 here, x is equal to 3 here and x is equal to 4 here, intersecting with y is equal to 2. No other points in the total giant distribution of x and y. So we'll have 3 values of x which are intersecting with y. So we have x given y of 2 given 2, then we have p sub x given y of x is equal to 3 given y is equal to 2, and then we have p sub x given y of x is equal to 4 given y is equal to 2. For this, the formula turns out to be the giant distribution divided by the PMF of the conditioning variable, which is 13 over 48. So here we have p sub x comma y of 2 comma 2 divided by 13 by 48. So that turns out to be, now you see x comma y of 2 comma 2, which is this point. So it is 1 by 8 divided by 13 over 48. So this becomes 6 by 13. For this we have p sub x comma y of 3 comma 2 divided by obviously the common denominator 13 by 48. So 3 comma 2 is x is equal to 3, y is equal to 2. This particular point with probability 1 by 12 divided by 13 over 48. So that turns out to be 4 over 13. And for this we have p sub x comma y. Remember, this is unconditional distribution, this one, and this is the distribution of x. This is 4 comma 2 divided by 13 over 48. So this is 1 by 16 divided by 13 over 48, and that turns out to be 3 by 13. So how can we write this now? P sub x given y of x given 2. That is, what is the conditional expectation of the random variable x given y takes a value 2? So you see it is 6 by 13 for x is equal to 2, 4 by 13 for x is equal to 3, 3 by 13 for x is equal to 4, and 0 otherwise. Again, you see the rule can never be violated. 6 plus 4, 10 plus 3, 13 by 13. So the total sum of the probabilities is equal to 1. So you see that the sum here is also equal to 1. Students, we have seen how we can write and find the conditional distributions both ways, conditioning a giant PMF with an event and then conditioning a random variable with another random variable. And we have seen how we can find the desired probability distributions. I'll stop my lecture here and I'll give you a quick repetition of what we did today. Just give me a minute. So in first part of week 10's lecture for the course EE 251, all the sections A, B and C, we discussed the concept of developed concepts of conditioning a giant PMF by an event and then conditioning a random variable with another random variable. The first part is conditioning a giant PMF by an event. This is the basic formula for any conditional distribution for one random variable. We have already developed that in chapter number 2, where we noted that this conditional distribution can be simply obtained by dividing the original PMF points by the probability of the conditioning event. And we also noted that a conditioning event reduces the sample space, and the new sample space is equal to the size of B. In a two-dimensional case, this B is some part of a two-dimensional plane of x and y. How we can find probability of the conditioning event? Simply by adding up all the individual probability points that are contained in event B. And then we noted that using this particular formula, we can find the conditional distribution of x and y, conditional giant distribution of x and y given B. So you take the unconditional distribution, divide it with the probability of the conditioning event for all xy points that are contained in B, and then you will have a new conditional distribution. So we developed an example where we have some probability distribution, some two-dimensional probability distribution with certain probability points, and then we were to find the new conditional distribution given this event has occurred. This event means x plus y, both the values summed up should be 4 or below. So we see that in the giant conditional, sorry, the unconditional distribution, these 4 points are the only points which satisfy this. So these 4 points basically is your conditioning event B. What is the probability of conditioning event B? The sum of individual probabilities of all the points in that event B obtained from the unconditional PMF, unconditional giant PMF. So you see these four probabilities summed up give you 7 by 12. So this 7 by 12 is now your common denominator in the formula here. So from here we moved on and see how we can find p sub x comma y given b. So you see how many points are there which can be taken as useful points. All these 4 points. So this is your new conditional distribution points. The probability, total probability 1 is now redistributed among these 4 points only, because this is the new reduced sample space. So which means p sub x comma y given b of 1 comma 1, then p sub x comma y given b of 2 comma 1, then p sub x comma y given b of 3 comma 1, and then 2 comma 2. So all these 4 points put here, plugged the formula, plugged the values, and we found the new giant conditional distribution of x and y given this point, given this event b. So you see this whole probability 1 is now again distributed into just these 4 points. So you see now these are the 4 points which get the new probabilities. This was the concept of conditioning a giant PMF by an event. The conditional expectation can be found as such. This is so simple. Always remember, if you have a giant distribution, the giant unconditional distribution, the unconditional expectation will use the unconditional distribution. If you want to find the conditional expectations, you have to use the conditional distributions. So you see, if this formula was simply expectation of g of x comma y, then it would have been summation x summation y g of x comma y times the unconditional distribution, which means not this part, this b. But since it is a conditional expectation, so the conditional expectation formula will utilize the conditional PMF from that example, from that problem. Okay. Then we took another twist and noted how we can find the conditional PMF of a random variable conditioned upon another random variable. So this is what we mean by that. And ultimately we noted through all this process that this can be written as such. The conditional distribution of x given y is simply the unconditional distribution divided by the probability of random variable y for a particular value. So you see, sorry, excuse me. So you see, we have a value of y, we will have another distribution of x. We take another value of y, we will have another conditional distribution of x, and so on. So we did the same example, but for this particular case where we have where we want to find the conditional distribution of x given y. Conditional distribution of a random variable given another complete random variable. So this is the example that we took. This is the example that we took. Same unconditional two-dimensional distributions, and we got to find the conditional distributions, conditional PMF of x, one given y is equal to 4 and another given y is equal to 2. For y is equal to 4, we see that as per this particular formula, we first want to find the probability that y is equal to 4. So p sub y is equal to 4 is all the points in this giant distribution where y is equal to 4 intersected with any other possible values of x. So you see, y is equal to 4, it intersects only with x is equal to 4. So only this point is the one where we can safely say that P sub y is equal to 4 with probability 1 by 16. Now the formula P sub x given y of x given 4, because y is equal to 4 is fixed. You want to find the probability distribution of x given y is fixed at 4. This is the formula P sub x comma y of x comma 4 divided by this. So you see x comma 4 is just 4 comma 4, no other possibility. So only one point in the giant unconditional distribution where you have 4 comma 4. So its probability is 1 by 16, denominator is 1 by 16, so the total is 1. So P sub x given y of x given 4 is simply just 1 point. X is equal to 4. So all the probability 1 should go to this particular point, and we can safely see that this is true. Then we moved on to this second case where you have y is equal to 2. So we want to find the probability of x given y is equal to 2. So first we have to find the PMF of y is equal to 2 as a common denominator. So you see, when we take y is equal to 2, which is this particular case, these 3 points intersect with x. Okay, 1 by 18, 1 by 12, 1 by 16. These 3 points, the probability of these 3 points summed up will give you the probability that y is equal to 2. And then we run the formula, basically 1 by 1 for all these 3 points, and use the corresponding values, and we get a new PMF of x, which is P sub x given y of x given 2 now, with 3 different probability values. So you see that when we take a value of conditioning variable y equal to some value 4, we get a distribution of x. You take another value of y, you get another distribution of x. So if there are many other values of y, you can have many other conditional distributions of x. Students, we will stop the lecture here, the first part of week 10's lecture here. I have already given you a quick review of the lecture as well. Thank you very much, and stay safe.